Keeping up with Askar's new telescopes feels like tracking a meteor with a manual mount. You finally figure out the FRA and PHQ, and suddenly there's an APO, an SQA, a 50p, a 60 Pro, and today a 160N. The alphabet soup is out of control, and your wallet is terrified. Welcome to Edisla SpeedMap. To make sense of Askar's massive catalog, we have focused on the only two numbers the sensor actually cares about: the reach and the speed. We are going to plot Askar's entire lineup on our speed map to see exactly where each scope fits. But before we plot all these telescopes on the board, we need a solid foundation on what is actually inside them. Let's break down the glass hierarchy. To build a refractor, you need at least two pieces of glass, like the basic Doublet 80 ED. Step up to 3 elements, the APO-Series, and you virtually eliminate chromatic aberration for pure true color stars. The catch? The focal plane is naturally curved. You'll need an external field flattener and tedious back-focus math to keep the edges sharp. Add a 4th element, and you get a quadruplet. That 4th lens is a built-in corrector that completely flattens the field. No external flatteners, no back-focus math. Just attach your camera and shoot. Here you have two popular families. The F-Series uses one ED element for a lightweight, versatile setup. The premium PHQ-Series uses two ED elements, delivering microscopic, pinpoint stars to the extreme corners of full-frame sensors. Now, stack a 5th element, and you hit the quintuplets, home to the FRA, the SQA, and one rule breaker, the 65 PHQ. Why 5 lenses? Because bending a fast, wide light cone inside a short tube causes extreme edge distortion. That 5th lens bullies the light into absolute submission. Because the 65 PHQ is so tiny, it needs that 5th glass to keep stars perfect, dropping it right next to the FRA on our graph. In this 5-element tier, you have a clear split. The FRA-Series is your high-speed workhorse, giving you the brute force focal ratios to capture nebulas in hours, not days. The SQA-Series is Askar chasing perfection. With ultra-premium glass and flawless color correction, astrophotographers are already comparing it directly to legendary Takahashi scopes. At the bleeding edge, you hit the Sextuplets, scopes like the ultra-portable FMA 180 Pro and the brand new SQA60 Pro. If 5 elements chase perfection, 6 elements actually catch it. It's the ultimate optical cheat code. The RMS spot size stays under 1 micron in the dead center. To wrap it up, 2 elements build it, 3 correct it, 4 make it flat, 5 make it fast, 6 makes it perfect. Now, with this understanding of the glass, let's plot them all out. At first glance, the plot looks chaotic, but just draw 3 lines, and the entire Askar ecosystem perfectly divides into distinct zones. Here is how to read the speed map. Across the bottom is your reach, the focal length. The further left you go, the wider your field of view. The further right you go, the tighter your crop for small, deep space targets. Up the side is your speed, the focal ratio. Ultra-fast optics live at the top, sucking in light quickly but demanding perfect focus. Slower, more forgiving telescopes sit at the bottom. Zone 1, the adventurers. Wide, small aperture, and blazing fast. These scopes act a lot like high-end camera lenses. They are portable, easy to handle, and the absolute perfect way to get your very first taste of wide-field astrophotography. Zone 2, the fast workhorses. This is where you graduate into serious fast photography. Look closely and you'll see a cluster right here. This is the sweet spot for beginners who want a fast plug-and-play start. Outside that circle are your intermediary scopes, the FRA and SQA-Series. Your choice here comes down to budget. The FRA-Series gives you excellent, accessible speed. But if you want the absolute best premium optics for the price, you go SQA. Zone 3, the forgiving workhorses. Right below the fast scopes, we find the slower workhorses. Because these optics are slower, they are incredibly forgiving and balanced. That makes this specific cluster the ultimate safe zone for beginners. The rest of the zone is purely driven by your wallet. Want the best bang for your buck? The APO-Series rules this space. If you don't mind doing the back focus math. If you hate math, spend a little more and stick to the flat field F or PHQ-Series. Zone 4, the heavyweights. This is for the obsessed deep field imagers. This zone gives you the ultimate reach for tiny galaxies. But be warned, do not venture here until you have mastered the middle zones. High reach magnifies every tiny error. The mounts get heavy, the setup gets expensive, and your tracking has to be flawless. Now, you might notice 2 of these 6 zones are completely empty. Why are there no scopes in the top right? Because a telescope that is blazing fast and has massive reach requires colossal glass elements. To build one would cost an absolute fortune, and it would weigh as much as a water heater. And the bottom left, scopes under 250 mm that are incredibly slow. Nobody wants to shoot deep space with a slow, wide lens. That zone is officially reserved for guide scopes. Now, a quick note. We only mapped Askar's core refractor lineup today. We intentionally left out their reducers, the modular V-Series, the Z-Series, and the older EDPH line. Those aren't mainstream right now and honestly deserve their own dedicated deep dive. The entire goal of this SpeedMap isn't to hold your hand, it's to empower you. Askar makes fantastic telescopes for the money, but finding the exact right fit takes a little homework. We want to give you the foundation so you can build that research attitude yourself. So, do your research, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let us know which zone you are aiming for. We are always listening.